There's something strange about modern love. We don't just fall into it anymore. We post it, edit it, perform it. Real love doesn't need an audience, and yet here we are. From celebrities to influencers to your cousin on Facebook, everyone's doing it, turning love into content. But why? Hey, I'm Andriana, and in this space, we overthink pop culture and nostalgia just enough to hopefully make it meaningful. Today, we're talking about love. Not necessarily just the kind you feel, but the kind you share, the kind you edit, the kind that turns up on your feed wearing matching outfits and whispering, I'm so lucky, into a ring light. From celebrity weddings to influencer breakups to your friend's 17 slide anniversary post for her husband that does not even have a Facebook account. We've all seen the performance of love. Some of us have even posted it. So, what is going on here? Why are we turning romance into content? And what does that say about us? So, let's pull back the curtain, not to expose anyone, but to ask better questions. Because the way we perform love online, it didn't start with influencers. It didn't start with your cousin's post about how he hid the ring in a cheddar biscuit at Red Lobster. I've had very specific experiences on my social media feeds. But, anyways, it started with people whose jobs it was and is to be seen. So, let's begin where this modern love performance era truly kicked off. Hollywood. In the celebrity ecosystem, being in love isn't just a life event. It's branding, it's PR, it's money. Think about how many celebrity couples are treated as a unit instead of individuals. They become like a duo. So Benifer, Kimye, Brangelina, Tomcat, Swelsey, um, Timmy or Tim Kai Mati. When these relationships work, they create an aura of magnetism. Two famous people fusing into something even shinier. And we eat it up. We follow the paparazzi photos. We dissect every red carpet glance. We listen to the lip reading girl on TikTok tell us what they're really saying. We genuinely feel bummed out over the breakup, like we knew them. I am not super obsessed with celebrity culture. I am much more a broad pop culture girly, but I can't lie. There is something that draws my attention to certain celebrity couples. I don't go looking for it, but my For You page just knows that I watch. So anything Taylor and Travis, Kylie and Timothy, Beyonce and Jay-Z, it intrigues me. But here's the thing, the performance isn't necessarily all fake. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, their names don't sound real to me right now. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Sorry, strange. Anyways, they might really have been in love both times. Kim and Kanye were together for years and they have 4 kids together that they're still co-parenting. Beyonce and Jay-Z, I mean, they have managed to endure years with cheating allegations as well as matching on the run tours. Now, there are celebrity couples that do feel super staged. Think Taylor Swift and Tom Hiddleston, or Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Those felt disingenuous. But love is likely genuine in a lot of these other relationships. But even then, even in those circumstances, the intimacy feels orchestrated for many of the more public couples, and sometimes even monetized. A wedding becomes an exclusive Vogue cover and spread. A breakup becomes an album full of Easter eggs and veiled accusations. A reconciliation becomes an entire Netflix documentary. This is where love stops being felt and starts to just seem like it's being used. Sometimes it's tragic, sometimes it's just survival, and sometimes, honestly, it's just smart business. But whatever the reason, the outcome is the same. Celebrities may be selling their love, but we are the ones buying it. But it's not just A-listers and arena tours anymore. Somewhere along the way, the performance and contentification of love trickled down into vlogs and TikToks and Instagram captions, because if celebrities taught us how to brand love, well, the influencers, they taught us how to monetize it. These days, influencer couples aren't just a thing, they're like a whole genre. They're the ones that we all know: Sean and Camila, Maddie and Elijah. And of course, there's that one TikTok or YouTube couple that's broken up 3 times and made content about it each and every time. We watch them prank each other, cry together, sometimes start whole freaking families, share sponsored proposals on mountaintops with like drone footage circling overhead and like 2 unskippable mid-roll ads. And we eat it up. Not because we're shallow, but because there's something about even that that just feels hopeful. We love love. I love love. We love love. We love seeing people's love stories play out in shows and movies, so why not make it real? Real people with real stakes. And I can admit that I have fallen for it too. I've recently left religion. I followed Jordan and Bubba Page from Fun, Cheap, or Free for years. I followed this family. They built a whole family brand on frugality, faith, being that high energy, adorable married couple that has like almost a dozen kids. Marriage advice was one of the pillars of their brand. Of course, they were experts. They seemed happy, grounded, thriving. I also followed Rachel and Dave Hollis. They weren't just married, they were the blueprint. I read Girl Wash Your Face at that stage of postpartum when you're starting to feel slightly human again. And so I read that book while like nursing and stuff, and it hooked me. So that was my gateway into their whole brand. And so they had podcasts and conferences and books and date night challenges. Their love was part of the product. It was like the packaging of everything that they offered. And when both of those couples announced they were divorcing, I felt a weird, real grief. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wasn't heartbroken. Like, I'm not like thinking about it a lot. But it did feel like a bummer, for lack of a better word. Not because I knew them, but because they had become symbols. And they became symbols by primarily sharing only their highlight reels. And that's what everybody is doing, by the way, is only sharing their highlight reels. So, anyways, they had become symbols to me. They weren't just selling advice, they were selling what often feels like certainty. And when that gets cracked, it makes us ask, well, why did I believe in this so deeply? I don't know these people. This is the machine. When love becomes content, the more you share, the more people watch. And the more people watch, the more your brand grows. But when the love breaks down, yikes. Well, now you owe your audience a statement. Hell, maybe even a docu-series. Why not a multi-part rebrand that all like leads up to like the launch day of your new book? We've made the relationship the product, and when it ends, the refund policy is emotional collapse. So, what happens when the relationship was real, but the performance of it was paying the bills? So, maybe we're not celebrities, and maybe we're not influencers, but we still post, or at least we can probably relate to that weird desire to post, right? Facebook anniversaries, Instagram engagement shoots, a hand in a lap, a blurry dinner plate, a cryptic, he gets me. We soft launch relationships like startups. We curate these TikToks like trailers for a romance movie. Sometimes we say it's for the memories, and sometimes maybe it is. But other times it's for reassurance, or for comparison, or for proof. Because in a world where everything is content, if we don't post it, did it even really happen? And that's not shade. That's, I guess, psychology, philosophy, something. We don't share love because we're manipulative necessarily. We share it because we're human. Sometimes we post because we want to feel lovable and for others to see and know that we are lovable. Sometimes we want to control the story or even to tell a story, whether that story's fiction or nonfiction. Sometimes we're just hopeful that if we say it out loud, confidently, and in front of everyone, maybe it will become more real, more solid, more like how we imagined. And sometimes, yeah, we just want to remember it, to freeze a moment, to revisit it later. And that's fair. The act of sharing is by no means wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not always just those beautiful moments of overflowing joy. It's often need, the need for validation, the need for control, the need for reassurance, the need to prove something. Joy is about celebrating. Need is about hoping for what isn't quite, or trying to protect what might not last. And both are human. But calling it out helps us reflect on why we're sharing, so that we don't get lost in the performance of it. So, the performance and what happens when the relationship has run its course. Well, That's tricky. What happens when the relationship changes, but the content stays up? What happens when the performance outlasts reality? What kind of pressure does that put on the people inside of the relationship to just keep smiling, to just keep posting, to just keep proving that it's okay?
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
We saw this play out recently with the what are they? The McAce family or the McBroom family? I don't even know. What happens when an audience starts to notice that something is off and they start to ask questions before you're ready to answer them? Love isn't less real just because it's posted. But the moment we hand it to the crowd, it stops being only ours. And that doesn't mean we should never share, but maybe it means we ask, what am I hoping to get from this post? And what happens if I don't get it? Also, what happens if I do get it? And what cycle would that start potentially? And am I okay with it? So maybe it's not about whether we post or don't post. Maybe it's just about asking why. Because love doesn't become more real when it's curated, and it doesn't become less real when it's private. But the moment that we hand it over to a crowd, any crowd, we invite the crowd into it. And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a celebration, sometimes it's art, but sometimes it's a performance that we forget we signed up for. And I think with a lot of our favorite celebs and influencer couples, they also fall into this trap of forgetting what they're signing up for when they let us all watch. So I don't have a rule or a final take on this one. Just a few questions that I started to ask myself a few years back when I decided to stop sharing posts where I felt like I was trying to perform. If they felt performative, I just decided I wasn't gonna post them anymore. And so these were the questions I asked, and I don't know, maybe you might want to ask yourself these questions as well. So here's some questions. What do I want my love to feel like when no one is watching? My husband and I had an insane number of ops. So I always feel like the urge to share. And when I stop and ask this question, it's not to make him feel great, but it's to rub our just vast success in the faces of my enemies. So usually I don't share. Another question are what moments are worth just keeping for me? Sometimes the people consuming, whether it's paparazzi's, faceless accounts online, or your extended family, they can put a lot of pressure on you to share all of it. No, just no, I'm not doing it. You want to see it? Pull up. Last question. What happens if I stop performing love and just live it? For me, it was all of the joy without the pressure and with tons more peace. Thanks for spending this time with me. If you enjoyed it, then you might also enjoy my newsletter, You Needed This. It's where we pause from the noise, slow down, and reflect on what matters. The link is below. Also, please, if you enjoyed the video, take a moment to like and subscribe, as each like and subscribe is one additional Lego in my kids' vast collection. So help a mother out and hit that subscribe button and also hit the little bell. That is all I have for you today. Please remember to take care of yourself. Why don't you have a nap? You need some rest, okay? I'll see you next time. Bye.